And that, my friends, is called leverage. All right, we got a friend of mine here today. He specializes in small jobs. He's got the small little mini excavator, and he's going to be putting in a pad for the new shed that my son has got coming. So we'll go ahead and watch this process of what he does. Along with putting the new shed pad in, we're going to be having this tree taken down. It's a black walnut. There's a lot of dead branches. There's one long one there. There's a couple more up there that continue to keep falling. So we want to get this tree out of the way. And after we get this pad put in, we're going to go ahead and have this tree dropped and taken down that way. We have moved that shed, the old beat up one that used to be here, right in front of the fire pit area there. We moved that way back out of the way because I think I've got future plans for that. I think that's going to end up being brought to my house for a little hunting blind. One thing that my son did want to do was he wanted to keep this fire pit, because originally when he bought the house, the owner prior to him, there was a shed that sat here, and they decided that when they were going to sell the house that they wanted to keep that shed. So they took it with them, left this gravel pad here, and my son came out and put a fire ring here so he can come out. And I thought, well, it would be kind of nice to have the shed right there where the excavator's sitting, to as a backdrop, I guess, for the fire pit area. Then for when he's got furniture and stuff around here, he can always put it around and put it into the shed pretty easily. So that was a determination of where the shed was going to end up being, and I think it'll actually look nice and work out very well. So earlier in the video, you've seen us working on this shed here. And like I said, this is 8 feet wide, 12 feet long. There was some of this fiberglass stuff up here to let light in, but it was very, very dry rotted. The shed's in pretty rough shape, but it's on skids and can be easily picked up. You've seen us ripping off the overhang on the back, and we took the metal off, and what I'm going to do is reuse that, cut it back to length, and there's, I think, 5 or 6 sheets here. We'll cut it to length, put it back up on the roof up here. Right now he's just compacting in that low side that he added some dirt on. Get some pressure on that to squeeze it in and get it to grade. You've been in business, Eric?
22 years for myself full-time.
22 full-time, that's not bad. So you're pretty busy every day, ain't you?
Yeah, most days I usually do at least a job a day, sometimes 2 or 3. Depends on the size of them. I've done as many as 7 in a day.
Yeah.
Most I've done is 3 shed pads in a day.
Huh. Well, we'll get into talking to Eric about some of the equipment he has, the kind of work he does and all that, and how he actually got the name Half-Assed. So we'll have him explain that. It's kind of a neat story. It's not what you would think. All right, he's got the pad all leveled out. He's going to run the compactor on it. Get that all nice and tight built in there. Now he's just kind of cleaning up the edges. That's one nice thing about Eric and what he does is he will not leave you a mess. Come in here, and this is where we added this dirt. That's cleaned out. He's fixing up these edges. He's tracked in a couple spots. There was some small holes that he took and threw a little bit of dirt in just to fill them in, and that's just the kind of guy he is. He doesn't want to leave it the way it was. He makes sure he leaves it better than what it was. Eric is another one of those guys that knows how to utilize his space. The way he's got his tie downs all set up so he can have every bucket for each machine on here. Those are all tied down and they always go in the same spot. He's got all of his long handle tools on a tool rack holder. He's got one of these tilt deck trailers, pretty neat. He's got any plumbing fittings for downspouts and all that tucked in underneath there. And when he brings his mini excavator up here, he's got it all set up so everything is the correct length. He doesn't have long straps. He doesn't have anything like these. Got fire hose over that to protect those straps. There's not a mile of extra strap on there that he has to deal with. So he's set up his trailer to haul the equipment, not have to deal with or fight with all the extra strap that goes on it. Pretty cool setup. He's done his homework and done a very well job at getting this thing set up. So he's got everything strapped on the truck here, or the trailer. Showed him how you got all your buckets on there and your long handle tools and everything. It's set up very, very efficient. I guess let's talk about the excavators that you have, and you also have a skid loader. So this is your medium size. So explain to everybody what a JCB 19 is.
It's a 1.9 metric ton machine. It's actually 21 horsepower. So it's almost as much horsepower as the bigger size machines, the 26s with 35s.
Okay.
In comparison, my 35 is 24.7 horsepower.
Okay.
So it's 1.9 metric ton, which equates to about 4,200 US pounds.
Okay. And then your 35 you just talked about, that's a little bit bigger than this one.
That's we joke, that's my big iron. It's 7,800 pounds. It's a 3.5 metric ton machine.
Okay.
Again, 24.7 horsepower. Has a lot more reach, dig depth than this one does. But it's also a lot bulkier, bigger to fit in, get in backyards and through driveways.
And you can only get that one machine on this trailer, right?
Yeah, that's all I can hold.
All right. And then with your 19, is this the only machine you put on the trailer when you go and haul, or do you have another one that you can put on there too or not?
Now, sometimes, depending on the job, I can take my skid loader with this machine on a trailer and still be not overweight.
Okay.
As far as needing a CDL driver's license to do it, but.
All right, and you just spoke about your skid loader. So you have what for a skid loader that you use?
Actually, my big skid loader is a JCB 155. And then I have
side door entry, right, on that one?
Side door entry,
okay.
Single boom. So you don't have to crawl over the bucket and trip and beat up your shins every time you get in and out and slip on the muddy bucket.
All right.
I have a little New Holland 120, which is actually a gasoline machine. It's only 1,900 pounds.
And that's just a little bitty machine that if I remember right, it's
more or less the same size as all the walk-behind skid steers, but you
okay.
can ride in it.
Yeah.
And sure beats the heck out of a wheelbarrow any day of the week.
Yeah. And then there's one more machine I want you to tell me about, and then we're going to get into the name of your company. Explain as it says on the trailer there, your small job specialty, and this little machine that you have. Which one is that?
Yeah, actually I have a Komatsu PC09, which is a 2,100 pound excavator. The tracks go in
not 21,000 pound, 2,100 pound, you guys.
It's less than half the weight of everybody's average car.
Yeah.
It has expandable tracks. With the tracks out, they're 34 inches wide. With the tracks sucked in, they're 28 inches wide. I can drive into the front door of anybody's house and sit in their living room with it if I wanted to.
Yeah. So, and I know at the city jail here many years ago, you actually drove that machine into the building to help tear out the jail cells that were in there.
Yeah, the jail cell floors that were in there because they were poured concrete, dug an elevator shaft inside the building that was 5 feet deep, so they could put a new elevator in the building. I was inside one of our local restaurants, ripped out a bunch of old flooring and stuff with it, saved the demo crew a lot of time with pry bars and
that's the neat thing about that machine is you can drive that into a standard 36 or 30-inch wide door.
Well, like I said, 28 inches.
Yeah.
It's track to track, so any door that's 28 inches wide or bigger, I can go through.
Yeah. So we got we talked about the equipment that he has. He is a small job specialist. There's not a lot of these guys around that can do these jobs where you're trying to sneak beside two houses that are 10 feet apart, and I mean, and that's literally what you do is you go into these lake house areas or these cul-de-sacs where they've got houses stacked on top of one another, and you're really the only guy out there that can get between the house and another house or the garage or whatever. But your company name, Half-Assed Dirt Works. I know I've heard lots of comments over the years, the time that I've known you forever. There's some controversy towards the name because everybody says, well, I don't want a half-assed job. So maybe explain that. And I know the story behind it, but maybe let's tell everybody else.
My grandfather was kind of do-it-yourselfer. It didn't matter what it was. He was interested in doing it himself.
Yeah.
Not hiring somebody if he didn't have to. And he'd teach himself to do it the right way. Whatever he had to do, ask somebody, read books. There was no YouTube or instructional videos on the internet in the Depression era.
Yeah.
So he learned how to do it himself, and if you weren't doing it his way, he had no problem doing it, telling you that you were doing it half-assed and wanted to make sure you did it the right way.
Yeah.
We always kind of made a family joke of that, and I thought I'd run with it, and it's been probably the best marketing tool I could have ever come up with. Everybody remembers it. I would say 75% of the people out there don't know who I am. They just know Call Half-Assed.
Yeah, and they know that name. It's catchy.
I don't care what they call me as long as they pay me.
Right. Very good. I'll tell you what, guys. Eric does a phenomenal job on anything he's done. He's very meticulous, and he never does it half-assed. So I guess, Eric, thanks. We're going to finish up here at my son's house. You're done for the day over here. Thank you. Great job today, and good luck. You got a beautiful set of equipment here. You always keep it clean, and your job site is the same way. Everything's meticulous when you leave. All right, so I got a guy here that I found locally that's able to transport this old shed, and we're going to be taking it back to my house so I can refurbish it and make a hunting cabin out of it. He's got these mules and everything else. Looks like Stoll's Transport. The name on the window there. So we're gonna go ahead and get this shed moved on a nice day today. All right, so he jacked this side up real quick, almost too quick. I couldn't even get it on film. Put his dolly wheels under here. They're dual wheel on each side. He's gonna go ahead and come around this side and pick it up. Take it out to the road where the trailer's at and get it loaded up. There it goes. We've got a bit of a hump that we've got to come up over here. I think once he gets it past this, we should be pretty clear. Derek said he moves about 700 sheds a year. Pretty cool the way those mules articulate to maneuver this around. One area that he's got to be careful of is making sure that the wheels don't fall off the edge of the retaining wall there. And then on this side, some pine tree limbs, but they told him not to worry about those. It's an old shed and I don't really care. He's going up and over this retaining wall, and then he's gonna take a sharp turn once he gets past there so he can get the building out of the trees a little bit. He's literally inches away from that edge. He cleared that by half an inch. gonna stand back here in case these wheels take off. Yep, they would have just rolled right down the hill. Now it's got an extendable tail on it as well. Not only does the trailer frame itself extend, but the tail on the back extends. Alright, he's got it all strapped on there. We gave him the route where to take it down to my house, and now he's going to be loading the mule back up. These things are very, very neat how they utilize everything on them to transport the stuff. Like the dollies here, they hook right onto that. He ties into the trailer here, and it actually lifts itself back up on, and then there's a chain or a hoist, looks like it's hydraulically driven, and they'll pull that mule back onto the middle of the trailer there. So he put these sideways driving wheels down underneath here to line it up. And I don't know if we can see them very well, but pretty cool setup. Lowers them down, moves the whole trailer over, gets it lined up. Then we're gonna go ahead and just drop this thing off right here. Well, I got the shed delivered, and I really would like to thank Derek from Stoll Transportation on that. Did a fabulous job getting this in here and getting it all hooked up. All right, we're back. It's a brisk Saturday morning, 33 degrees here. We've got the shed out of the way. We've got the shed pad set up and ready to go. All that turned out nice. And now today we've got to take this black walnut tree down, and I'm guessing that it is about 60 to 70 feet tall. Got double stem here. I actually am going to have a local guy here, a young man, take this thing down for me, just because that's what he does for a living. He's got insurance, he's got all the things needed, and we're going to actually be pulling it from over that way. We want it to go fall through there, kind of maybe on an angle, hopefully not land in the shed pad, but no big deal if it does. And I guess the biggest thing is everything's clearing out of the way, and he's going to take this one stem at a time, stem that is, not step, and not cut it at the main trunk here. We'll get that later, but the way this thing leans and everything else, we don't want this one falling that way. So we've got another tree right here. We've got the side of Chase's house or his porch roof there, so we wouldn't want it coming and catching any of that. So this particular stem on this side, we're going to be roping it and pulling it that way. So stick around and let's get this tree down and then all bucked up. All right, so I got Ryan here, got Adam here to help out, and Chase, he's here. Ryan, he's with Porter Tree Service. Ryan, how long have you been doing this?
I've been cutting trees about 10 years.
10 years.
Started as a business a few years ago.
Yeah. So you're local to the area, and I see your truck all over the place taking trees down and doing tree service work for everybody. So this tree here for me was, I'm not going to lie, I don't do it for a living, and a little more intimidating that I want to get into. So that's why I've got Ryan here. So we're going to go ahead and watch him work and put him on the spot, throw him on YouTube here, and hopefully make him famous someday. when I said something to Ryan about where we wanted to drop this, looking right here, I said there's a boundary marker stake up there. You follow this tree straight down, and look where he aimed at. Perfect shot, right at that stake. Couldn't have hit it any better. Ryan, I don't know, you obviously have done this before, but you nailed that thing. It hit that mark. Couldn't have been any better.
Thank you.
So
I've done it once or twice.
yeah, so the next one, like we said, going to be a little more of a challenge. It's got a heavy lean this way, then it goes up straight. So we're going to get out there and pull on it to get it to go that way. So what do you got here, Ryan?
This is a throw line. This is how I get the rope up in the tree. I throw this, just a skinny light line with the weight on the end. Throw this up there over a crotch, and then I tie the rope on there and pull the rope up over.
All right, well, let's see how good a shot you are.
No pressure.
Yeah. Are you freaking kidding me?
That'll work.
You made that by 6 inches perfectly through that tree crotch.
There's no edit on that one, folks.
Yeah, no edit there. I'm actually thoroughly impressed with that. He's going to hook a winch to it up there in that other big pine tree there in the corner to keep pressure and tension on that, because that thing is leaning hard towards the tree, the house, everything else. So he hooked his throw rope up to a heavy duty rope. Got it tied up through there.
Basically like a fish tape.
Yeah, just like a fish tape. Adam, you think you could have made that first try like he did?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Me neither.
Should have had you try it.
Yeah. You obviously probably had to go to knot tying school as well.
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Learn how to tie knots and all that. So,
You can learn anything on YouTube.
yeah. So what do you call this knot you got hooked up there?
This is a running bowline.
Okay.
It'll just cinch down on itself. The bowline's nice because it's easy to untie
Okay.
after you load it up with a lot of pressure.
All right. Well, let's see him work his magic. And again, you guys watching, this is why I didn't do this tree myself. This tree here, where he's going to put a strap around the tree, and then he's just got a winch come along type of deal. And you're looking mainly just to put a lot of pressure or tension on the line there, right, Ryan? And
Yeah, I'll set some pre-tension on it and then cut it up, and then I'll actually pull it over.
okay, that makes sense then. That way you can kind of control it with this as you're pulling on it.
Yeah.
I got it. Yep.
Instead of trying to wedge it over, I don't think I could wedge it over.
Yeah.
Too much back weight. So
All right.
put a rope up in it. Cheap insurance.
Yeah. I don't blame you. He's getting some tension on it. And now we can actually see that tree starting to move around and pull towards him, where he's got it hooked to the other tree. There it goes. Bingo, right on the money. Nailed it. All right, we got both these stems down. Ryan, you did a phenomenal job. I mean, I actually couldn't have seen anybody else place them any better than what you did.
Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, and like I said or showed earlier, I got his name on the back of his shirt here. There's his phone number if you guys, anybody local. How far do you usually travel? You usually stay in the area?
Yeah, within half an hour.
Half an hour? All right. So, like I said in other videos, Northwest Pennsylvania, might be up to Erie, Pennsylvania, or down to Butler maybe, somewhere. Just all depends. But Do you ever do any work over towards Ohio? Because we're half an hour from Ohio as well.
Yeah, sometime.
All right, so you know you got a radius of an area that you would work in. So if anybody out there needs a really good tree service guy, very affordable, I guess give Ryan a call. So Ryan, thank you, and
You're welcome.
good luck, and stay safe in all your other tree work you do.
I will. You too.
Thanks. So now we're going to go ahead and get this thing all limbed up, get it down to manageable logs here, and then we're going to cut some of this up for firewood. And I think Adam's going to take some of these bigger sections here and use those for his decorative plaques for his antler racks that he makes. Hopefully here in the next couple days or maybe a week, I don't know, we'll finish it off with the shed delivery, and then that should finalize the video. All right, well, we got everything all cut down, all cleaned up, all burned up. We're gonna leave the stump here. Might make a nice little tabletop for his fire pit area here, whether they set hot dogs, hamburgers, marshmallows, whatever. But for now, we're gonna leave the stump as it is. And these two logs, Adam will be back over with his tractor to pick these up, throw them on the sawmill. We are completely ready for the shed to be brought in on the new pad over there. Unfortunately, with the Thanksgiving holiday, we don't have a delivery date for the shed, so we're gonna have to wait on that. I do want to finish this video out by saying,
That'd be okay if I'm here.
yeah, you're fine. Shut up now, will you? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you're able to celebrate with family and friends. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon. Now that's a nice piece of black walnut.